photography of any kind during any of the performances. Our amazing photographer and videographer David is going to be videotaping this. It will go up on the YouTube page, and we can share that link with you as well. Please silence your cell phones, and then I'm going to turn it over to Cassie, who is going to explain how our wonderful art walk this evening is going to work.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? For those of you who are guests to camp, I'm Cassie Greer. I use she, her pronouns. I'm half of the technical theater faculty and the second session production manager. And I'm so excited to welcome you all to our second Spotlight show this evening.
For being where you're supposed to be right now. I'm Ember. I'm one of the creative writing counselors this year, and I'm here with half of the creative writers, and we're so excited to show you all of the awesome work that they've been producing over these last 2 weeks. It's been really great, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, so let's get to it.
Dangerously from the electrical wire, swaying gently in the cool, steady breeze. It held onto the 11 as tight as it could. I slipped carefully under the hazard above me and through the door, which was peeling till the color was only a memory. The bell jingled as he entered. I froze. The store was lined with nearly empty shelves. Food bags scattered spontaneously over counters, a reminder of what used to be. Overall, it was empty. I exhaled as my shoulders lightened and told myself that everything's okay, whether or not I believed it. I stepped inside. The flickering light gave little to help me find my way around. Even before the end, I tried to avoid convenience stores or anywhere that might attract public attention. I never was one for big groups, or little for that matter. So for me, being in a store like this is like a penguin stuck in a sauna. I made my way to the chip aisle, at least what was left of it. Torn bags of air took up most of the space, crunching under my feet as I tried to silently scavenge any food I could. I slung my backpack down from my shoulder and started filling its worn pockets with food. Hairs tingled at the back of my neck as I sat helplessly on the floor. I forced myself to ignore it. Paranoia has tied me down before, so I wasn't about to let it get to me in the middle of the 7-Eleven. I almost managed to push the feeling away, leaving it as just a light tingling. Crash! I shot up to my feet, hugging my bag of valuables to my chest. My heart pounded in my head as I swerved around, looking for the source of the sound. A shadow rushed into my side view before disappearing just as fast. My breath shortened, and I tried to hide the panic setting in. Hello? My voice quavered. There was nowhere to hide. I kept looking, trying to focus my eyes in the dark space, but still only saw dim walls leading out to the midnight sky. I shoved away my feelings of discomfort, at least as much as I could, and thought reasonably about what I could have seen. A squirrel. That's what made the noise. A little, harmless squirrel just trying to survive like the rest of us. At least that's what I told myself. I almost convinced myself of it too by the time we reached the exit. I pushed open the green glass door, listened to the bell chime, and almost made it out when a hand grasped my shoulder. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gwen, and this is a poem I wrote called Raspberry Chocolate. He smells like bitterness with a bit of sugar, vaguely hinting at his true nature. The distinct scent of raspberries complements the richness of dark chocolate. He feels sturdy like a plank, yet easily cracked. When the room is too warm, one can feel him melting between your fingers. His taste is acrid and refreshing, dulcet with a hint of sour, like the crisp air in midnight darkness. He sounds like a clean snap as the pieces are broken apart. He looks like a dark exterior, cold and unwelcoming, yet something profound hits at the secret sweetness he contains. And I have one more piece, which is a very different vibe that I call Next Day Noon. I call it a nonsense letter. I was walking from a very interesting day, I believe. When I got home, well, more so arrived, for I got my home a long while ago, I found it completely empty, well, more so devoid of possessions, for at the time it still had air in the sound of their footsteps. That was all well and true, until the takers, well, more so movers, since it's still quite impossible to take something without moving it. One of them was a short, round creature. The other was quite willowy and with long, droopy ears, which hung towards his elbows, well, more so towards the ground, since they were pointed exclusively down and not towards its body. That was all well and true, as I had said, until they took the air and sound as well. Oh, how I could scarcely breathe. That's how I lost my voice the 12th time, if you're keeping track. This happens every Thursday and Sunday if it's Saturday. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Iris. This is my poem. I have two. My first one is Midnight Grove. Night hung like a penumbra over the thicket. The air was crisp with the aroma of pine needles that crackled underfoot. Evergreen boughs drooped low, adorned with chartreuse wisps of spun sugar. The subtle thump-thump of woodpeckers drumming on firs echoed through the gnarled canopies, leafy limbs tangling. The forest floor glowed with cool silver moonlight. I waded through swaths of thistlebur, lamenting their spiky presence. Night owls cooed, their cries poetry. This is my second poem, titled Dreamers. Endless starry night lulls me asleep. Dreams like untold stories, half-sewn quilts, dried out paintbrushes, spiral to the ocean floor, entrancing me. Who dreamt them? Why abandon your dream if it could help someone find solace? If it could be worn through generations to be relished by a great-granddaughter? If it could change the way someone thought? Refracted in the memory sheen, desires of joy, peace, love, success, and a million vibrant possibilities reveal themselves, diamonds in their obsidian sea, awaiting the next generation of daydreamers, night schemers. Their creativity wanders to mustard blue realities, dreaming big, an art often lost in daily chaos, can take you to your wonderland, laced with tales yet to be uttered, tapestries yet to be worn, and art yet to be framed. To all dreamers, keep dreaming.
This is a poem I wrote called Tomorrow Will Be. Number 1, be sick enough of your job to see another option. Open the mundane beige drawers to find that pristine letter with its original seal. Number 2, pay the $1.99 bus fare for a round trip you know you won't return from. Number 3, when your shoes hit the punched-in pathway, you'll find peace you thought was long gone. Meet the makeshift introduction duo hastily put together the night before, after the arrival of your message. Number 4, step into the shack labeled as your home. His memorabilia stains this resident, although he is long gone. Collapse into the red quilt and rickety frame muffled by soft foam. Tomorrow you'll meet the others. Tomorrow you'll explore lands rich with secrets. Find if the stories were over-exaggerations or truth. Tomorrow will be your new life. Tomorrow will always be your savior. And then this next one will be another poem I wrote that doesn't exactly have a name. A stockier and larger house cat. Speckles and stripes of black atop muted brown, looking bold and lonesome. Their fearful growl sounding mangled. Meant to intimidate, but sound a cry for help. Some can't see them for what they are. Soft fur interlaced with dirt from their travels. They feel rocks under their paws, frigid at night, but perfect rest by day. The rich taste of iron staining their teeth. Remnants of their prey have become them. Smelling threatening with insecurity, they know they're never safe. Smelling of pungent dirt, grasses, rock, and wind. Surviving has forced a bond between the two. Past friends meet again.
ocean in a thin silk dress, not a care in her head and boredom in her eyes, shimmering sheer, easy to miss. The moment you notice her, the moment you let her enchant you with her silk tendrils, the moment you spend watching her for a second too long, she will take you, steal your soul with a dazzling smile, wrap you up in ribbons of delicate venom, and squeeze every bit of life from you. You thought beauty was safe. You assumed she was too nice, too pretty. Nonetheless, here you are, wrapped in tendrils of grace, unable to move, your eyes empty. She moves on, letting you sink. She begins her dance again. Dark clouds blanketed the small village. They came on cat feet, quiet and unknown until they blocked the sun. The village people shut their windows, gathered their livestock and kids, and retreated inside. They ignored her, worrying only about their clothes, their hair, their health. The clouds shuddered. She had been sad since time was young, the reason lost long ago in some flurry of whitewater floods and violence that threatened to take all you had. Her tears started. They collected in puddles on dirt roads that slowly became mud. The quiet pattering of rain hushed the village. She watched from above, angry at their dismissal. The wind picked up, wrapping trees, houses, flowers in anger. Her cries were thunder, her rage branding the sky in lightning scars. Tears showered down, soaking the world. The village hid, cursing the storm, although there were few who listened intently, the storm's agony and discord expressing their own. For one odd minute, they felt calm. The crashing rain drowned their racing thoughts, and the howling winds took their torments. With a final sigh, the rain let up. The winds pulled away lazily, grabbing leaves, banners, and tarps. She was quiet once again. The village opened its windows and returned to work. The clouds tiptoed away and dispersed into wisps of fog. She was lighter now, in color and weight. The sun blinked brightly, a smile spread across the sky.
Hello. My name is Lynn, and I have 2 poems to share with you. This is called Campfire Story. A serpent hidden in the fennel refrains aromas. Ridges through thistleburr, bonfire reflects bright lights. Numerals and skyways shine lucid stories as the oranges blossom in the hills. And then this one's a little bit of a different mood, but it's called Where Did All the Mermaids Go? We used to be beautiful mermaids, silky black hair and soft skin spilling over into rolls. We swam in the deep, unknowingly intimidating your petty minds. Your brains stained with hate, trudging through our watery terrain, you caused a frenzy amongst fish. I can't stand the way you see me. Sandpaper skin, sharp teeth, and claws I never asked for. You blame me for eating and taking up space, things I cannot control. You blame me, yet justify your genocide. You leave me with an immeasurable ick. I was never meant to be the villain in your story.
Hello, my name is Avery, and I'll be reading a short story that I wrote. I ran off into the valley, the wind chasing me, the scent of afternoon roses shimmering like smoke in the humid, sun-filled air. I've been seeing a lot of white butterflies recently. Another one fluttered by the river, its milky, creamy coloring winking in and out of the corner of my eye. I snuck up close to it, trying to catch a glimpse of its elusive, ever-flittering wings that were always in motion as quick as the ticking of a clock. And all of a sudden, the gurgling waters of the river seemed to stand still. Half a second of delirium passed, and all of a sudden, the clock started ticking again. My throat released that breath of crystal, of solitude and echoing stop. That breath trapped in my chest, though I'd been too surprised, too caught off guard to set free until the world exhaled and unpaused. I think if I'd gotten up and walked about right then, I'd be able to lean in close to the butterfly and feel its lovely wings, examine every detail, every intricate clockwork part of its flutter, because for one precious moment, one I'd probably never get to experience again, the butterfly wouldn't be able to fly away, or flap its wings so fast I couldn't see a thing. Its mechanics, its inner workings, its forever ticking heart of silver cogs and gears and nectar and blossom would be paused. But that didn't happen. I'd miss the moment, and I'd never get another chance. I wouldn't be able to look into its metal-frosted anatomy, how it whirred and clicked with every tick-tick beat, how it was gingerly pieced together with hope and glass and a good pair of tweezers, and released, with freedom soaring in its clockwork heart, freedom written into its programming, and a sense in its mind of copper and glitter and gold that it needed to fly. Yes, it had an all-consuming need to fly, and it would, and it will, and it was, flying, always.
Hello again. I have two pieces to share with you today. The first one is called The Garden. Hypnotic humming filled my head, while a mossy floor made a swanstone bed. Dappled sun filled my sight, porous rock expelled plumes of smog. Wax leaves reflected a golden light. Squealing drills joined birds in song. I hid under the shaky armed canopy, behind walls that keep you out but captured me. Splintered pine needles reached for the sea blue sky. A storm of noise erupted from small scattered rocks. A rusted man looked at me with one scarred eye. I heard a final drum of nature's knock. The second piece is called Goose Pantoon. Goose, lay a golden egg. Sunlight shatters the night sky. Lion claws kiss your cheek. Dewy green grass breaks twin blades. Sunlight shatters the night sky. Lightning morphs a broken heart. Dewy green grass breaks twin blades. Fragile boulders mist into apple blossoms. Lightning morphs a broken heart. Ladybug ghosts punch your gut. Fragile boulders mist into apple blossoms. Butterfly women start decade wars. Ladybug ghosts punch your gut. Cattail reeds bend holding glass roses. Butterfly women start decade wars. Paper sailboats carry the world. Cattail reeds bend holding glass roses. Lion claws kiss your cheek. Paper sailboats carry the world. Goose, lay a golden egg. Okay, you guys, that is it for the Hudson Creative Writers. Please follow your group onto the next part of your rotation. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Hello. My name is Ezra. I'm one half of the Creative Writing Counselor team, along with Ember over in Hudson Hall with the other half of our delightful group. Welcome to station number 2 on the Thursday evening showcase. I'm representing on behalf of this incredible creative writing team. We're going to be reading to you a piece each. It's going to be 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and we're going to start things off with my friend Wesley on the left. Let's give him a big round of applause.
He said my name. I'm Wesley, and this is a monologue I wrote. It's called The Man Who Killed Me. Why am I here? Gods know I could have avoided this. I knew I would die tonight. Frankly, I knew on which stair I would have my blood spilt. I could have run. I could have ran for my life, stowed away on a ship to Abexia, far from his horrible war. But now I'm here, dead, or something worse, still alive. I look up. The stars are shining, twinkling like angelic eyes, laughing at me. I have been made a mockery of by the gods. Everything known to me has brought me sorrow as recompense for my knowledge, and now I sit alone upon the stair of a palace full of cadavers, and yet I still survive. When I close my eyes, I take myself back to that day. The day I watched the town and family that never loved me fade on the horizon, and I think about him. He raised me, taught me, made me. So why do I feel such hatred for the wars he doesn't fight, for the news he doesn't spread, For him, I'll destroy him for what he did to me, and I will become him for what he did for them. The real him, the man who killed me.
Hi, I'm Sasha, and I wrote a story called The Arby's Special. Working at the cash register at Arby's isn't the most glamorous profession. Every day, people with twilight under their eyes and a sour taste in their mouth order cold roast beef and a drink to match. They droop as they give them a price slightly higher than last week and the week before that. Today, a man with a red cloak and satin melting his face ordered the special. I told him, "This is Arby's, we don't have a special." His voice dropped to like a stone to ocean, and he whispered, "I want the special now." Sir, there's many delicious options you can choose from. If you want, I can give you my personal preference. Curtsy's Pizza Palace has a special, so why can't you? The night before, I had stayed up watching Love Island. All I wanted to do was get rid of this guy so I could nestle into my blinky with a bowl of popcorn and guess who ends up with who. Sir, please order something specific or I can't get you anything. He scanned me down from blue hair, a keepsake of tangles, to shoes shiny with pungent cow juice. You'll come to regret this. Who knew Arby's had such terrible service? His coat snapped away and he stopped at the door, looking around the split lips of red booths, the littered tile floor, and flickering fluorescence. With a curl of a scabbed chin and a twitch of a shrouded wrist, he left. My shift ended at 12, so I scowled at the clock until I closed up and drove home in my mom's 97 Subaru, the thought of stars twinkling in my eyes. I slipped the door key in and struggled with the lock, twisting, shoving it against some immovable force until, like a spell was cast, it gave way. Standing on the other side of the door was him, the man in the cloak. He turned up his face, revealing his eyes, or rather, the absence of them. Two gaping holes, slick with darkness, pulsing violently. My jaw froze shut, and a scream clutched my throat and twisted my teeth. I tried to run, but my legs weren't there. I didn't lose height because they were gone. My torso shook alone in the air. Tears stained my lashes, but they couldn't blink anything away. In fact, there was nothing to be blinked away. There was just darkness. Two inflamed gaps winced as my hands tried to find eyes. A sharp pop echoed through the room, and my hands lifted my head as my head slowly rose past reach. The last thing I heard was, "Nobody denies Aiden the Arby's special."
Hello, my name is Wish, and I will be reading a piece called Branches in Partnership. In this world, everyone begins small and seed-like, and with time, grow into mighty trees. Some trees, when they grow close, choose to twine together in a practice called forever partnership. When I first met you, we were little saplings, innocent, unaware. When I became your friend, we were older, less innocent, more aware. The larger oaks protected us from the harmful storms, but in their protectiveness, you became disillusioned. Your twigs and branches began to encroach on mine, and I welcomed them, looking forward to a forever partnership. If only I knew then what I know now. It was fun at first, one of your branches laced around mine. But then you got greedy. Your branches, sharp like knives, forced their way past my protective boughs and threatened to tear my roots to shreds. Out of fear, my limbs met your trunk, a terrifying waltz the two of us were locked in. We danced for a year, locked trunk to trunk, until I got the courage to raise my shoots and break the trance. You backed off, and it was like the air was fresh again. But it was a trick. My shoots fall like ash from a fire as you break them down like they really are ash and tear me from the fresh air back to the waltz. Several months later, the fresh air moisturizes my parched throat as I run as far as I can away from you. Bits of your bark stick to me like leeches, draining my energy. They won't come off no matter how hard I tug and scratch at them. That was then. Now, I am becoming a stout sequoia, slowly forgetting about you. Some of your bark has fallen like dead leaves, but some remains, and it still drains. Nevertheless, I am healing. Sometimes I think about how I felt when your branches first touched mine. Excitement and joy. I find that feeling in other ways now. With luck, our branches may never touch again. Thank you.
Hi, Camp. I'm Nautilus, and I will be reading one of Ollie's pieces and one of my own. This piece is called Garden of Life. When I walked into the garden, mossy floors and gravel paths, crunching every step. Shades of green, all thriving. Leaning fences and rotting benches, decay amid life. Signs of age felt comforting, a showcase of time. A chaotic jumble of life. Mossy floors and gravel paths greeted me when I walked into the garden. Love that kid, he's like a brother to me. This is a piece of mine called Heart Road Pizza. Living in the suburbs of Beaverton doesn't offer much to do for fun, but if you walk 2 miles down the Powerline Trail, best friend at your side, you'll reach Summercrest Plaza, the only place walking distance of my house, and it has nothing but a plaid pantry and Heart Road Pizza. Ella calls Heart Road Pizza the divorced dad restaurant. Her dad is a frequent customer. He's always hated that nickname. Me and Jaturna, my best friend, consider ourselves lucky that we haven't run into Ella's dad while there. We stumble in when it's already dark outside. All the employees stay in the bar section while me and Jaturna sit in the family section. We wait 15 minutes for someone to notice us and bring a menu. The overhead lights shine orange, giving the small room a dim warmth. We settle down in our usual seats at the circle table and wait another 15 minutes for someone to take our order. Jaturna gets what he always gets, a glass of ice water. I get my usual as well. I order a small, manly, needy pie.
Hi, Cam. This is a piece called Faulkner and My Father, who is currently in the audience, so I hope he likes it. There are 2 other people I can think of who could speak on any subject like my father. One is the author standing before you, the prodigy of his labyrinthine knowledge, and the other is my mom, the only fire that burns as bright as his. Traversing the strange path of a conversation is something even the bravest are daunted by. But the truth is simple, so I'm here to explain the great mystery. The first thing anyone must do is approach the man, see whether his eyes are sparkling with the rapid electricity of passion. If they are, advance quickly. Bring in your interest in conversing and rush like the winding river. But if his eyes lack that spark, move slowly. Watch him as you ask about his day, his work, his family. When you feel the small talk is like an autumn duckling fighting against the strong current of the river, introduce your interest. But be slow, lest the sparks be smothered by your own burning flame. Next, you must let the conversation glide like ashen smoke. Let the man discuss and connect to your interest. But do not leave him the sole dancer on the stage. Let his intelligence fuel your own, and let yourself be a fellow planter in the garden. When he inevitably gets sidetracked, probably about Ralph Nader, follow along. This is but the genesis of another path that will lead to something fascinating. Finally, you must be willing to stop the conversation once it tires itself out. No energy you can bring can revive something that has lived so long as a conversation with my father. And sometimes it's kinder to let the conversation quiet and absorb into the earth, and from the death of it, a new thing will be born. It is then you'll reach the final, true purpose of a conversation with the man, his ever-burning impact on you. While some land like meteors, Malloy Good lands like a seed. He imparts his knowledge and leaves. But his ideas grow in and around you. And by the time you go to talk once more, you've already accepted them as fact. Thank you.
The name of this next piece is Dubious Booze. That's B-O-O-S. What do you write when you're unbound to a rhyme scheme? Lines 1 and 3 do say a lot about your very own echo chamber. What a dubious ask, shutting the mouths of booers before prying them open post-song, egging on a cheer. It takes long hours to write convolutedly, but it's 100 times the work to sift out the Latin and return the proverbs to their parents, thoughtfully. What to do? What to do? You can't open a restaurant without bad-mouthed bots here in summer 2025. Nor can you start a new religion without cold accusations here on July 17th. What do you do when you're sandwiched between two-person conversations, coasting off the comfort of the Advil in your pocket? Write what you know. Drive out the foot traffic with the sparks flying from your tightly clenched eyelids. Give it up for YMA Creative Writing 2025.